G'day, eh? Wait, that's the wrong tag. That's the Canadian Stereotypes tag. Never mind. Hello, everyone. Joe, Racer Joe, whatever, call me what you like. I'm sure some have called me lots of different things. Anyway, I digress. I'm already scrolling on this one. This is for our good friend MGK Boston and his push to a quadrillion subscribers. I haven't been doing a lot of videos lately, but I thought I would do this one because I have done each year since I've been around in the VC, so I thought I would participate. And again, for our good friend Mike from MGK Boston, there's him and his buddy Colton, and that is his rendition of when he joins me on my Wednesday night game show, Rock and Roll Jeopardy. So, Mike, there you go. If you ever come on, your avatar is already built, my friend. So hopefully you'll come on and join me. Okay, enough plugging my stuff and other tags. Let's get into this one. You all know the gist at this point. 10 questions. We're going to do it. We're going to talk about it. We want to push Mike up to a quadrillion subscribers. Has anyone done the math? I'm sure someone's done the math. Exactly how many zeros is that? Anyway, it doesn't really matter. So, without further ado and without further babbling, let's go. Here we go. Number one, show an album owned by your spouse, one take, or significant other that you don't like. If you are single, show a album you're embarrassed to have in your collection. I don't know if there's any I'm embarrassed to have in my collection. There's probably some that are there just because they're supposed to be, or they came in a bigger collection that I purchased from someone. But anyway, we're going to go with from my spouse. And much like others have said, it's not necessarily that I dislike this, it's just not my style. As a child of the 70s, I was more of a Kiss, Van Halen, that type of guy. So Mr. Donny Osmond did not do a heck of a lot for me. But for my lovely wife, Joanne, he certainly did. And for many, many, many other teenage girls at the time. A little K-Tel album. Mike and Patty, you will be familiar with the K-Tels. There we go. Anyway, there's one, and we'll do it two for just because, as another example, and that is Mr. Sean Cassidy. Not to be confused with David Cassidy of the Partridge Family, who I also have and enjoy. At least I like. I think I Love You, the one from the Partridge Family. Anyway, so, again, not that they are bad. They're just not for me. They are, however, for my lovely wife. I don't know if they're still her jam. She's more of a David Bowie, Elton John fan now. But, she'd probably listen to some Donny Osmond. Anyway, there you go. All right, number two. Show a favorite snack item and review it. Well, I try and promote and preach shop local as much as I possibly can. And I try and do it as much as I possibly can. But every once in a while, guys got to go to Costco. Shouldn't say the word, but there it is. And if you go and you do not buy the Kirkland salted mixed nuts from Costco, then you really have not gone there. All right? So if for no other reason, get your membership, go get these, and then get out. And go everywhere else for your other stuff, as much as you can. That is my review, I guess, to say that you should go and get a Costco membership, and I should stop saying that word. Not that it's wrong per se, but anyway, again, I digress. Yeah, the salted mixed nuts. It's a nice full bag. Look at that. There is my snack and the review of it. Go and get some. Wear a cool shirt in your video and explain why you think it's a cool shirt. So for those that have watched my stuff before or happen to watch my Wednesday night show with Rob and Daryl, live from the basement on Rob's Northern Revolutions channel. Our show, not my show. I'm part of it. That's why I said my. Anyway, I'm not friggin' starting over at this point. I like to go to a lot of concerts, and that's going to come up a little bit for this question and a few other questions. But anyway, again, man, if I could cut out about 50% of the words in my videos, they would be extremely shorter. I don't know if they'd be any better, but they'd be shorter. Part of the charm is me going on and on. Shut up and talk about the shirt. Okay, so this is one of my favorite Canadian bands, Supergroup Took. Todd Kearns, Brett Fitz, Shane Gallus, and Corey Turco make up the band Took. My lovely wife got this for me for Christmas a couple of years ago, so it is a favorite shirt of mine for a number of reasons. Plus, it's kind of hockey and Canadian, and here come the Olympics, so let's hope that Team Canada does well in the Olympics. The Olympics, for those that are that are old enough to know the Olympics. But anyway, so that's all coming up, so that's why the shirt. Okay, let's go with number 4. Not let's go with, it is number 4. Describe both a positive as well as a negative concert experience and show an album from both. Okay, so a very positive experience, and I have been to a number of concerts. I am super, super lucky. I have gotten a chance to see a number of people. There are a bunch that I'd still love to see, and I'm going to knock a couple off the list later this year. If someone can lend me, $2,000 to $3,000, not lend me as much as just give me. I'd like to go see Bruno Mars in Vancouver. That might just be for hotel rooms. Anyway, again, I digress. Just more things in my head that have to come out. But, so I have seen lots. And there are numerous ones that I can choose from. But I happen to go with one young Mr. Paul McCartney. Didn't take the sleeves off. There you go. One Mr. Paul McCartney. This is McCartney 2. So it really was one of those scenarios, one of those situations where you're sitting there and you're going, man, I'm listening to a Beatle live. And this was a number of years ago. Sounded fantastic. Played for 3.5 hours or something along the lines of that. You knew every word to every song. His band kicked ass. He was phenomenal. It was just a great experience. If it's a gatefold, you have to show it. That is a rule. Again, if you watch the Wednesday night show or you watch my other videos, if it's a gatefold, you got to show it. Look, there's Paul right there. Look at him. There's a shirt. How about that shirt? I could have shown that shirt. Anyway, Paul McCartney, unbelievably great concert from a number of years ago. We're going to put that one to the side. Now, I haven't been to many I have not liked. I think the number is maybe 3 out of hundreds. One was Mariana's Trench. Not my style. Someone gave me tickets. I enjoyed the opener. I didn't find any redeeming qualities of them. Just wasn't my deal. The other was a few years ago, Collective Soul. They sounded horrible. He sounded horrible. The band sounded great. It wasn't the mix because every other band at this little mini festival here in Regina sounded perfectly fine. He sounded bad, and it pissed me off because I was really, really looking forward to seeing them. I had never had a chance to see them. They did all the songs that a person wanted to hear. The first song played. Man, that sounds horrible. Second song, oh man, it still sounds horrible. And I didn't want to ask the person beside me or the other people if they found that to be the same. I have talked to others that were at that show, and they did find it to be the same, but I didn't want to put that in someone's brain beside me and go, it sounds like crap, right? If they didn't think it did. So I just I sat there and I watched the whole damn thing, hoping and expecting it to get better, and it just never did. But where we're going with today, and I think a lot of the things that I just said relate to this one as well, because I had never had a chance to see Dr. Hook. This is a collection of their earlier classics. So beyond the fact that he sounded like crap, they did the most awkward ass weird version of Cover of the Rolling Stone. It was like they could have redeemed themselves if they just would have nailed that one song, but they didn't. Plus, they went on some rambling jam bullshit. Should I swear? I shouldn't swear, but I did. Anyway, and I'm not starting over. And then they played some covers. But off of this album, which there's a couple of different greatest hits. So off of this, they I think maybe they played Sylvia's Mother, but they didn't play Acapulco Goldie. They didn't play Freaker's Ball. They didn't play Penicillin Penny. They didn't play Get My Rocks Off. They didn't play Carry Me Carry. They had a whole bunch of their own great songs that they didn't sing because they were too busy screwing around, and it was horrible. I did not enjoy it in any way, shape, or form. Again, I stayed till the damn bitter end, though, so what are you going to do? Okay, bend down, pick up the sleeve. I don't know why, because it's just going to get thrown over there instead. Okay, next. If you win the lottery, what is your dream destination after collecting your winnings? Well, it's not a specific, but it relates to the things that I've been talking to, and it's concerts. I want to fly to Australia and see some concerts. I want to fly to the UK to see some concerts. All of those interesting places to go and see some bands that I haven't seen or bands that I have seen, but in a different venue. Like I'd love to see something at at the at Wembley or whatever the hell they're calling it now. I'd love to go see something in the Sydney Opera House, places like that. So with that said, a couple of quick albums just to show the live aspect, of course, for those again that know me. Little Kiss, man. This thing is beat up. It's got some ring wear, but this has been around from the start. This is the original. This is one of mine that I bought. So there you go. Some live stuff. And there's that. There's the boys on the back with their poster. There is my ticket from that show, or one show with them. Another band I have seen, but I would have loved to have seen this one. I'm not taking the wrap off. Yeah, I know it's going to be shiny a little bit, but it's a pain in the ass to do that and then put it back together. I should have taken them off beforehand, but I didn't. Metallica and S&M. This is the first S&M. I had a buddy that was at that. That would have been pretty cool. And then, not lastly or leastly by any means, but this young lady, I had a chance to see her a couple of years ago, Melissa Etheridge. For those that like watching documentaries and things like that on television, I'm Not Broken, live from the Topeka Correctional Facility, is out there on, I don't know, one of the streaming services. Go and check it out. But that's where this album comes from. But man, Melissa was fantastic, and she can play guitar. There is the inside, not that great. But anyway, so what would I do with my lottery winnings? I would buy pinball machines, and I would go and see concerts. That is what I would do. I'm just going to throw that there. And yeah, let's keep going. Okay, next. Our friend Mike loves hats. Show me a hat in your own personal fashion collection and tell me why you like it. Well, here you go. This is the one. I wear hats all the time. Really, because I'm bald and I'm one of those guys. I don't care. It's not a vanity thing. I have just always covered up the bald. But anyway, so today we are going with the Tilly. That is from that over there. It's always backwards, Joe. That is the piece that came as part of the tickets. I look over here. I won't show you. From Power Trip. It was a big concert where they hold Coachella a few years ago. It was Guns N' Roses, Iron Maiden, Tool, Judas Priest, AC/DC, and Metallica. It was like they built a concert for Joe and they put it. But this hat got me through plus 40 and or plus 110 or whatever the hell it is weather in California. Pasty white Canadian boy. It was October and it was still like plus 110. It was insane, but this kept the ears and the old schnoz from getting burnt. So it's done its time. There's some AC/DC buttons that I bought at the show, but yeah, Matilli. So it makes an appearance every once in a while. Most of the time it's a toque or a baseball hat, or I got one of those flat caps, much like my good friend Curtis. So let's move on. Who's the supermodel? Show a record by a male and female artist who you consider to be supermodels in the looks department. Okay, well, let's start with, I think I missed one. I did. I missed Show a Blues album. It was out of place. So let's go back. Before we get to the supermodels, let's go back to a blues album. You don't get much bluesier than Mr. Muddy Waters. So Muddy Waters on here. Otis Spann is on here, Mike Bloomfield, Paul Butterfield, Donald Duck Don, Sam Lay, and Buddy Miles. So there you go, Fathers and Sons by the blues guy. Definitely one of them, Muddy Waters. There is the outside, there is the gatefold, which is not much, and there is the lovely back. So there you go, Mike. There's your blues album. I'm sure you've got that one, or possibly do not, but if you don't, you should, because it's a good one. I can't say I am very well spoken in the art of the blues by any means. I do enjoy it. I don't have a ton. I've got some, but that is one of my favorites. Okay, so I did the hats. Now, supermodel. Okay, so let's go with supermodel. First up, we're going to go with a young Canadian lady who I talk about quite a bit, but she is fantastic. She's got a couple albums out. This is her first one, and this is J.J. Wilde, and this is Ruthless. So I know she's not on the cover, but I've got a couple examples of JJ that I will show here. So there is young Miss Wilde and some ugly asshole dude, and I swear to God, I did not plan until I just put it up there now that I was going to be wearing the same shirt. But there you go. I was wearing the same shirt. That was not the plan, but it worked out that way. Yeah, I had picked the picture, but by the time I picked the picture and put this shirt, anyway. That's JJ, and this is also, now she does not shy away from her sexuality in any way, shape, or form. I follow her on YouTube. I follow her on Instagram. I follow her on Facebook. She posts a lot of different things. And again, she just does not shy away from the fact that, she has a she's a great looking young lady, and she doesn't shy away from that fact, and she puts the pictures out there. So I'm not being creepy old man. I didn't have to search too far to find those pictures, I guess is what I'm saying. There is another picture of JJ, and there is, I think I got one more. There is one last picture of JJ. That is, a good young Canadian kid. And again, I'm not a creepy old man, although I just got close to the camera, and that's kind of creepy. She's fantastic. I really, really think she is a fantastic artist. She just posts a lot of pictures of herself, and she's a sexy young lady. So what are you going to do? Now, for the male, I have picked one young, although not that young anymore, Mr. Charlie Sexton. Didn't have the cover on this one. So there's Charlie, his old self, kind of looking supermodel-y on the cover of that, and then kind of looking supermodel-y on the back of it as well. Supermodel-y, is that a word? I'm not sure. A couple examples of Charlie. There you go. That's pretty much supermodel glamour shot right there. And then there's another one, and let's go with number 3. There you go. So, fair play. I showed a good-looking young lady, good-looking young man. There you go. I'm comfortable in my sexuality to admit that he is a good-looking young dude. He's also got a lot of hair. Much like, I never did have that much hair. Anyway, so there you go. There is Who's the Supermodel. Make It Stop. Show a song you never want to hear again. Now, again, on our Wednesday night, live from the basement on Northern Revolutions, we did a whole show about this a while ago, and there were a number that I had chosen. There was one that I retracted my statement after listening to it again. This one, however, I will never, ever, 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 ever retract my statement. I have always said I do not hate this artist, but I hate this damn song, and it is this guy. Like, it's going to be a surprise to anybody that has watched me before. And The Summer of '69. I never, ever, ever, ever need to hear that song again. Rob, that one's for you, my friend. And, okay, so, show an album with a excellent duet on it. Well, I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to show you an album that is pretty much all duets. That's another topic I think we've got coming up on Wednesday night, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, I am going to go with this one, and that is Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, You're All I Need. So you can see just some of the hits on there. You're All I Need to Get By, Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing, Come and See Me. This I picked up a couple of years ago. It was still in the shrink wrap, like sealed, from 1968. I don't know how a person did not open this unbelievably good album, but again, from 1968, it is just in awesome shape. There's the back. There are the two of them. They did a whole bunch of stuff together, but there you go. So an album with a duet, or the whole album of duets, and a fantastic couple as well. Marvin Gaye, Tammy Terrell. Okay, so with that said, now I've made a complete mess of the albums over there. That's going to do it. That's it, Mike. I hope that worked for you, my friend. You were a big supporter of my channel from the beginning, and you've always been, and I very much appreciate that. So, although I don't do a whole lot of videos anymore, I did want to do this one. Still available on Wednesday nights. Hope we can see you, Mike, on the game show that I have been trying to do in the last couple of weeks. And that's going to do it. I'm not wrapping this up all that well, but there are my choices. Go and check out Mike's channel. If for some reason you're watching this, you haven't been there, MGK Boston. Of course, links will be where links go. Check out a whole bunch of the other ones. There's a whole bunch of wonderful videos that people have done, so go look for those. Mike's probably got a list on his page, so go do that. And have a wonderful day. Thanks, Mike. Good luck. I'm going to go figure out how many zeros that is now.